Before anything else, before we go deeper, I want you to make a quiet promise to yourself. Do not rush this video. Not because it is long, but because what you are experiencing right now in your life cannot be understood quickly. If your heart feels heavy for reasons you cannot explain, if your life feels paused while others move forward, if something inside you feels like it's changing, but you don't know why, then please listen carefully, because this is not a motivational talk. This is not something to play in the background. This is an explanation for a phase of life that most people misunderstand and many people destroy by reacting too early. Let me say something that may surprise you. Some delays are not delays at all. Some silences are not silence. Some pauses are not pauses. They are decisions Allah is making quietly. And if you don't understand this phase, you will either fight it or abandon it or blame yourself for it. Many people do. They leave this phase broken, bitter and confused. But those who understand it, those who remain patient, those who trust Allah here, they look back one day and realize, this was the moment my entire future was decided. If you are watching this right now, I want you to know something important. This is not accidental. People who are not in this phase will feel bored by this message. They will leave early. They will not feel connected. But if your soul is tired, if your heart feels unusually aware, if your life feels quiet but intense, your heart will recognize every word. And that recognition is already a sign throughout this reminder. I will explain things that will slowly begin to make sense to you. Not all at once. Some parts will hit you immediately. Other parts will stay with you and make sense days later, weeks later, even months later. That is why this reminder is long, because Allah's preparation is not shallow. And neither is your pain. We will talk about why Allah slows some lives down, why He removes people without warning, why motivation disappears, why confusion enters, why silence becomes loud. But we will not rush, because rushing is what destroys this phase. I want you to listen the way you would listen. If Allah Himself were teaching you patience, you don't need to agree with everything immediately. Just stay open. And here is the most important thing I need you to understand before we continue. If you leave early, you will only hear the pain. But if you stay until the end, you will understand the purpose. And purpose changes everything. So take a breath, slow your heart, stay with me. Because what you are living through right now is not random, it is preparation. And by the time we reach the end of this reminder, you will never see your delay, your silence, or your loneliness the same way again. Let us begin. When Allah hides you, it's because He's protecting the outcome. There are moments in life when you feel like you are standing in a crowded world, yet somehow no one sees you. You are present, but unnoticed. You are trying, but unacknowledged. You are struggling, but silently. You wake up, go through your day, fulfill your responsibilities, carry your worries, hold your emotions together, and still it feels like your life is moving without any sound. No recognition, no appreciation, no visible progress. And deep inside your heart, questions begin to form. Why am I unseen? Why does no one notice how hard I am trying? Why does my life feel so quiet when others seem to be moving forward? These questions hurt because they make you feel small. They make you feel forgotten. They make you feel like maybe, just maybe, you don't matter. But my dear soul, please listen carefully. When Allah hides you, it is never because you are worthless. Allah does not ignore value. Allah does not overlook sincerity. Allah does not forget effort. Allah hides what He wants to protect. Look at how the world treats precious things. Money is locked away. Jewelry is kept in boxes. Important documents are protected from damage. No one leaves treasure out in the open where it can be ruined. In the same way, Allah sometimes hides His servant because their heart, their future, and their destiny are too important to be exposed early. You may feel invisible to people, but you are never invisible to Allah. Not even for a second. Allah sees you when you wake up tired, but still continue. Allah sees you when you smile outside, but break inside. Allah sees you when you try again, even after being disappointed again and again. And because Allah sees all of this, He knows something you don't yet know. He knows what you are becoming. If Allah allowed everyone to see your growth while it was still fragile, some people would speak negativity into your life. Some would compare you. Some would question you. Some would make you doubt yourself. And doubt, my dear brother, my dear sister, can destroy what patience is trying to build. So Allah quietly steps in and reduces your visibility. He removes unnecessary people. He softens the noise around your life, not to make you lonely, but to keep you safe. Think about a seed. A seed does not grow on the surface. If it stayed above the soil, birds would eat it. The sun would burn it. The wind would move it away. So the seed is buried, covered, hidden, pressed by the soil. And if that seed could feel, it would think, this is the end. I have been buried. I have been forgotten. But that burial is not destruction. It is preparation. In the darkness, the seed begins to change. Roots form first where no one can see them. Strength grows underground, unseen. Stability develops before beauty ever appears. If the seed grew leaves before roots, it would collapse. And this is exactly why Allah hides you. Allah does not want you to look strong on the outside while being weak on the inside. So He works on your roots. He works on your patience. He works on your humility. He works on your sincerity. He works on your connection with Him. Because when success comes without inner strength, it destroys people. We have all seen it. People who rose quickly and fell painfully. People who gained attention and lost themselves. People who received blessings but forgot Allah. Allah does not want that for you. So He says, gently and lovingly, let me work on you privately. Let me shape your heart before I shape your future. Let me strengthen you where no one can interfere. This is why your life feels quiet. This is why your efforts feel hidden. This is why you feel like you are being kept away from the spotlight. Because Allah is more concerned about who you become than how fast you are seen. In this hidden phase, Allah teaches you something very powerful. He teaches you how to continue without applause, how to remain sincere without validation, how to trust Him when there is no visible reward. And this lesson is more valuable than success itself. Because once you learn how to stand without praise, you will never collapse when praise disappears. My dear brother, my dear sister, if Allah lifted you today, would your heart stay humble? If people admired you today, would your heart remain attached to Allah? Allah knows the answers. And because He loves you, He prepares you first. So do not measure your worth by how many people notice you. Do not measure your progress by how loud your life looks. Do not measure your value by how visible you are. The most important work Allah does is often done in silence. The greatest transformations happen when no one is watching. And one day, not today, but one day, Allah will bring you forward. And when He does, you will stand with calmness, with balance, with gratitude. People will look at you and say, you changed, you became strong, you became wise. But they will never know how much of that strength was built in silence. How much of that wisdom came from being hidden? How much of that peace came from trusting Allah when nothing made sense? So if today you feel unseen, do not feel unloved. If today you feel hidden, do not feel forgotten. You are not being ignored. You are being protected. And the one who is protecting you never makes mistakes. My dear brother, my dear sister, There is something else that happens when Allah hides you, and many people do not realize it until much later. When Allah hides you, He slowly changes the way you see the world. Things that once mattered deeply to you begin to lose their power. The need to be seen, the need to be praised, the need to be understood by everyone. At first, this change feels painful. You may think, why don't I care anymore? Why does attention feel heavy instead of exciting? Why do I feel distant from things I once wanted? But this is not emptiness. This is freedom. Allah is gently removing chains you didn't know were holding you. You see, when a person depends on people for validation, their happiness is never stable. If people praise them, they feel high. If people ignore them, they feel broken. Allah does not want your heart to live like this. So He heeds you. So He teaches you how to feel whole without approval. So He shows you that peace does not come from being seen, but from being connected to Him. This is why some days you feel quiet inside, not sad, not happy, calm. That calmness is new, and unfamiliar things often feel uncomfortable. But this calmness is Allah settling your heart. In this hidden phase, Allah also removes people. And this part hurts the most. People you expected to stay, leave. People you trusted, change. People you loved, drift away. And you ask Allah, why are you taking everyone from me? But Allah sees what you don't. Some people were only meant to walk with you until a certain point. If they stayed longer, you would stay smaller. Some people were not evil, but they were not aligned with where Allah is taking you. And if Allah allowed them to stay, you would constantly explain yourself, constantly adjust yourself, constantly shrink your soul to keep peace. So Allah separates you, not because you are difficult, not because you are unlovable, but because you are outgrowing certain spaces. Growth often feels like loss before it feels like freedom. This is why this phase feels lonely. Not because Allah abandoned you, but because He removed distractions. In the silence, you start hearing your own heart again. You start noticing your own thoughts. You start realizing things about yourself that were hidden under noise. This is uncomfortable, but necessary. Because if Allah filled your life with noise again too soon, you would never hear His guidance clearly. Allah speaks to hearts that are quiet enough to listen. This is also why your nights feel different now. You think more at night. You reflect more. You question life more deeply. Sometimes your heart feels heavy for no clear reason. And you wonder, why do I feel like this when nothing bad is happening? This heaviness is not sadness. It is depth. Your soul is becoming deeper than surface level living. Allah is teaching you to feel life fully, not just chase distractions. Many people never reach this stage because they are always running from silence. But Allah trusted you enough to slow you down. Another thing Allah does in this phase is He breaks false confidence. You begin to realize how little control you truly have. Plans fail, timelines shift, doors close unexpectedly. And this hurts the ego because the ego likes certainty. It likes control. It likes predicting the future. But Allah wants your heart to rely on Him, not on plans. So He gently removes certainty before He gives guidance. And when guidance finally comes, it feels clear. It feels calm. It feels right. Because it is no longer coming from ego, but from trust. My dear brother, my dear sister, this hidden phase also teaches you sincerity. You learn how to do good, even when no one notices, how to pray. Even when no one praises your faith, how to stay kind. Even when no one thanks you. And this sincerity is extremely rare. Allah loves deed done in secret. A tear no one sees. A prayer whispered in the dark. A heart that keeps believing even when results don't show. These are the deeds that shake the heavens. And this is why Allah hides you, because public growth attracts attention, but private growth attracts Allah's closeness. One day this phase will end, and it will not end slowly, it will end suddenly. A door will open without warning. An opportunity will appear unexpectedly. Clarity will come in a way you did not plan. And you will stand there surprised, thinking, how did I get here? But Allah will know. And deep inside, you will know too. You will remember the silence, the patience, the nights you cried quietly, the days you kept going without applause. And you will realize something very powerful. That silence did not weaken you. It built you. So if today your life feels hidden, stay calm. If today your progress feels invisible, stay patient. If today your heart feels quiet, stay connected. Because the one who hid you is carefully preparing the moment He will reveal you. And when He does, you will not break under the weight of the blessing. You will carry it with humility, with gratitude, with strength, because you were prepared in silence. Delay is Allah training your heart, not testing your worth. One of the most painful feelings in life is waiting. Waiting while others move forward. Waiting while doors remain closed. Waiting while your heart keeps asking, why not now? Why is nothing happening for me? You look at your life and think, I am praying, I am trying, I am doing my best. Yet the answer you keep receiving is silence. And slowly a dangerous thought begins to form inside the heart. Maybe I am not good enough. Maybe Allah is unhappy with me. Maybe I don't deserve what I'm asking for. Please stop right there. Delay is not Allah questioning your worth. Allah already knows your worth. Allah delays because He is training your heart, not rejecting your request. You see, many people want the gift, but very few are ready for the responsibility that comes with it. And Allah is not careless with His gifts. If Allah gave you what you wanted at the wrong time, it could harm you instead of helping you. So Allah does something very loving, even though it feels painful. He slows the process, not because He forgot you, but because He is preparing you. Think about a child who wants to drive a car. The child may cry and say, I want it now. I can do it. I'm ready. But the loving parent knows the truth. Giving it too early would not be love. It would be danger. In the same way, Allah sometimes delays because your heart still needs strengthening, because your patience still needs depth, because your reliance on Him still needs to grow. And Allah cares more about your safety than your impatience. During delay, Allah teaches you something very rare. He teaches you how to trust Him without seeing results. Anyone can believe when life is moving. Anyone can be grateful when doors are open. But trusting Allah when nothing seems to change, this is the faith that transforms a soul. This is why delay feels heavy, because it stretches the heart. You wake up some days feeling tired without doing much. Not physically tired, but emotionally tired. You think, how long will this go on? How much longer do I have to wait? And Allah hears every one of these thoughts. Allah hears the sighs you don't speak out loud. Allah hears the du'as you repeat quietly. Allah hears the frustration you hide behind your smile. And still, He delays, not to hurt you, but to prepare you to carry what you're asking for. Because blessings are heavy, success is heavy, responsibility is heavy, answered prayers are heavy. If Allah gave them to a heart that was not trained, that heart would break. So Allah trains you slowly. He teaches you patience when nothing changes. He teaches you gratitude even when progress is invisible. He teaches you to keep going without guarantees. And this training is painful, but it is powerful. Delay also reveals something important. It reveals what you truly depend on. When things are delayed, you realize how attached your heart was to outcomes, how much peace you placed in timelines, how much happiness you connected to results. So Allah removes the results for a while to bring your heart back to Him. Because Allah does not want you to love the blessing more than the giver. This is why some people receive blessings quickly and lose themselves, and others wait, and when they receive, they remain grounded. Allah is not slow. Allah is precise. He knows the exact moment your heart will